and welcome to Taking Care of Business. I'm Lori Higgins, President of the Metro North Chamber of Commerce. The Metro North Chamber is a business organization dedicated to serving about 650 businesses in the Anoka County area. Our many goals is to not just build business, but to build relationships and build community as well. One of the ways in which we do this is through partnering with different community organizations. Today we're going to talk about our upcoming Summer Food Fest, which is on June 20th at Aquator Park in Blaine. It's a family-friendly festival that involves food samples from local restaurants as well as many kids' activities such as face painting, clowns, bouncy house, a cookie walk, and much, much more. But we're also going to talk today a little bit about the community partners that we have, specifically Free2Be and Toys for Joy, both of whom are major contributors to this event. My first guest today is going to talk to us more about Free2Be, which is an organization that donates cars to area families in need. To elaborate on Free2Be is Miles Engstad, one of the past board members or current board member?
Current
board member, past board chair, correct?
That's correct.
Yes, okay, well welcome. Thank you for being my guest today.
Well, thank you, Lori.
So can you start off by giving some history about Free2Be, when it started and how it started?
Free2Be started about 13 years ago at St. Stephen's Church in Anoka.
Okay.
And some folks there decided that there was a definite need to help people with car repairs, and so they began by working in the church parking lot.
Oh, really?
And they could see that was not going to be very effective.
Sure.
So they ended up moving down the street to East Main to the Goodyear store, offered them some space on Saturday mornings to work on these cars.
Okay.
That evolved into a much larger effort, and so then Victory Auto stepped in and offered us their shops, one in Ham Lake and one in Fridley, and that has been ongoing ever since.
Okay, so it's changed a lot over those past 13
Oh,
years.
it's grown immensely. Yes.
So about how many cars do you donate?
Well, to date, this is our 13th year, we have donated over 850 cars
Wow.
to families. But I think even more important is that we've also repaired
Okay.
well over 3,500 cars. So there's
Really?
over 4,000 families in Anoka County that have been impacted by the Free2Be program.
That's phenomenal. So now how does this work? How does someone get a car repaired or get a car or receive a car?
Our system really is fairly simple. As you go to the Anoka County Human Services Facility, and you go through the application process there, and there, if you are qualified by the intake system, then they will simply notify Free2Be, and when we interview that individual, and also when we decide that a repair is something that we're going to move ahead on, we have the recipient bring the car into Victory Auto, and we do a evaluation,
Okay.
and seeing what parts are needed and so forth, and then we schedule a car care Saturday to have that car repaired.
Okay, can you talk more about these car care Saturdays?
Car Care Saturday is an interesting thing because it happens the first and third Saturday of each month.
Okay.
And what's going on there is that when the recipients for car repair or a recipient of a car, one of the things that is required is that they must attend a car care maintenance class and family budgeting class for about 2 hours on Saturday morning. And we take those classes off-site while the mechanics are working on their cars. Now, what's interesting to me is that these are not typical mechanics that you find every day.
Really?
One of them is a retired Northwest Airline mechanic.
Okay.
We have 2 doctors, 1 surgeon,
Oh.
2 electrical engineers, 2 mechanical engineers, people who would rather work on cars than go fishing. That's kind of what we have. And these people are tremendously dedicated, and they are there every time we need them. And
That's
without them,
fantastic.
frankly, we couldn't do this job.
Oh, well, they all sound like people who are good with their hands, so
Oh,
that probably
fantastic.
helps.
Yes.
Well, and speaking to that, I imagine it takes a lot of volunteers to run this program.
It's a lot of volunteers in many different ways. Obviously, we need mechanics to work on cars, but we also need volunteers to come in, and we have people come in and clean cars that are going to be donated.
Okay.
We also have volunteers in a somewhat different way in that when we get a car donated to us and we decide we're going to have it repaired, we don't do that repair work in our own shop. We take it to what we call a car a month shop. These are about 12 different shops around Anoka County that will take one of these cars. We will provide the parts and they install the parts for us and at no charge.
Very nice.
And so they are volunteers in that respect as well.
Sure, absolutely. Now, talk about the donations. I imagine that you have more requests than you have donated cars, correct?
Correct.
So-
In fact, we have a waiting list, usually anywhere from 15 to 25 people, families waiting on a waiting list for a car. And the reason that list is so long is because, frankly, in the last 3-4 years, with the recession, car donations have dropped significantly. And the cars we are getting many times are beyond repair. We just have to sell them off as junk or an auction. And so, but good news is just this last 2 weeks, we have gotten 3 or 4 very good cars that are currently being repaired at this Car a Month shops.
That's great.
And we will be donating those now over the next couple of weeks.
That's wonderful. One at our Summer Food Fest.
Yes,
So-
we're going to have a very nice car for that.
Yes, and those presentations are just so heartwarming. I mean, every time I see one, I have tears in my eyes every single time because of how much it impacts a family to receive one of these cars. It's a life changer.
It's life-changing. And one of the things that we're doing because of our limited supply of cars is we're focusing on women who have children because their transportation needs are so much more complicated
Yes.
than just a single person. So we give them a top priority.
Okay.
Now, once in a while, we get a car in that's not suitable for them, and then we do have another list of single people who could
Okay.
get a car from us.
Okay. And you said before Anoka County family, so you really do focus on Anoka County right here in our own backyard.
We are
correct?
exclusively an Anoka County
Okay.
nonprofit. We serve the people of Anoka County.
Okay.
One thing we have done is that we have helped another organization similar to this get started in Wilmer.
Oh, really?
And so that organization is doing much the same kind of work, only they're doing it in 4 counties rather than 1.
Oh, my goodness. Now, if someone did want to donate a car, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Oh, that's easy.
Okay.
Okay. You simply call Free to Be, and we have a gentleman who's retired that has all the equipment. He will come and pick up the car from you, and all you need to do is have the title signed and hand it over, and we take the vehicle. It doesn't matter whether it runs or not.
Okay.
We will take the car regardless.
Okay, so couldn't be easier.
It couldn't be easier.
Now, if someone did not have a car but they wanted to contribute, do you take cash donations?
Oh, yes, we always take cash.
And again, just contact your office for
Just
information
contact
on that?
them and mail in a check. We've obviously, money is one of the key elements in our program because we have to buy parts for these cars,
Right.
all the cars that we are repairing.
Sure.
So volunteers are great, but we also need cash to make the program work. And that's one of the reasons we have the Summer Food Fest, is to raise funds.
That's exactly right. Funds and awareness is
That's
really
right.
what that event is all about. Now, you have also an up-to-date website too. If people want to go check out your website for more information about
We
upcoming
have lots
events
of
and
information
donations.
on there, and that
Okay.
would be a good place to go.
Okay, fantastic. Now, we actually tried to have a car recipient with us today to talk about what a life-changing event this was, but she had to be at work, and we can appreciate that because that's part of what you strive to do, is to get these families back to work, back, to jobs and being the productive members of society that they wish to be. So,
Right.
so we can't fault her for that. However, I wanted to just read a very short testimonial that was written by one of a recent car recipient, because it's really impactful to hear it straight from these families who have been so affected. So bear with me for just a minute. On February 21st, 2013, I experienced the ultimate compassion and generosity I had never before seen from such an amazing community of people. You have made it possible for me to complete my college education. My fiancé no longer has to ride his bike home from work in below freezing temperatures in the middle of the night, and I can take my son to his doctor's appointments. Even going to the grocery store has become exciting. Before, we could only get the bare minimum that we could carry home. Now we're able to plan family meals together. I hope one day soon I will be in the position where I can give back to my community and change a person's life for the better. So I think that sums it up right there.
That's a very typical letter. We get many of those kind of responses when you talk to these people. It is life-changing. It's the second most important thing in their life besides housing is transportation.
Right, absolutely. Well, we really encourage people to come to the Summer Food Fest event, not just for the food and the kids' activities, but to see one of these presentations in person. It's phenomenal. So is there anything else that you would like to add about Free to Be, Miles?
Well, I think Free to Be is kind of one of the best kept secrets in Anoka County. There are people out here that really do need our services and are unaware of them. And so this kind of publicity is really good to let people know that we are there to serve.
Wonderful. And I would imagine too, even though you talked about having a waiting list, that shouldn't deter people from reaching out to you in case they need assistance.
That's right, because maybe we can fix their car if they have, if that's the situation. Or, like you say, we never know from week to week how many cars we're going to get.
Sure.
Like we got blessed here recently with a number, so all of a sudden our situation changes. So
That's fantastic. And you're very well networked in with other businesses and helpers out in the community who might be able to provide some resources too, because it does take quite a few people to make this work.
yes,
So.
absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being my guest. We are going to take a short commercial break and then come back. We're going to talk more about Toys for Joy and some of the Summer Food Fest activities that you can expect on June 20th. So stay tuned.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
Welcome back to Taking Care of Business. I'm Lori Higgins, president of the Metro North Chamber. Today we're talking about our upcoming Summer Food Fest event on June 20th at Aquator Park. The Summer Food Fest is really to raise funds and awareness for several local nonprofit organizations. We just got done talking about Free to Be, one of our main community partners at this event, and now we're going to talk about Toys for Joy. So my guest right now is Toby Nelson, a board member from Toys for Joy. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we want to learn a little bit more about your organization, what it does, who it supports. So if you want to just give us some background information as to how it started and what you do.
Well, we started in 1986, and it was a group of realtors in the North Metro area that just really wanted to give back to their community. And so just it kind of started small from there, and joined forces with a group called Christmas Committee, who was already giving away food during Christmas time for families. So we kind of joined in on that and helped give toys away also.
Okay, but now you are strictly a toys-focused organization.
Yes, we
right?
are. We strictly do toys.
Okay, and so who do you serve?
We serve any family in Anoka County that is in need for toys at Christmas time.
Okay, and it's specifically for Christmas too. I mean,
Yes.
that's the holiday that you focus on.
Yes, it is.
So, however, I imagine you look for toy donations throughout the entire year to build up to that?
We work very hard all year round trying to fundraise, trying to find cash donations and toy donations. We have our upcoming golf tournament. That is our biggest money raiser of the year, coming up in June. And if you're looking for more information on that, you can go to choiceforjoymn.org to get a date if you're interested in golfing at that.
So you've got a busy June too with two big events.
Yes, we do. We do. And so that is one of our biggest money makers of the year.
Okay.
Kind of sets us up for the upcoming season.
Okay, and then I imagine with the cash donations, you use a lot of that to go purchase toys?
Yes, we do. We spend one whole day before a distribution date shopping.
Okay. So does it take a lot of volunteers to run this organization?
Throughout the year, there's a group of about 10 of us that are running the different charity events and getting things going. And then once distribution comes, it does take a small army to do distribution. We have different people help bring you through to do the shopping experience with the toys. People helping us set up, bring the toys in. Local businesses who are kind enough to become drop-off sites for us.
Okay.
It's just, it does take a large group of people.
I would imagine. And so then when it comes time to distribute the toys, do you have them all in one centralized location that people come and pick something out, or do you deliver them individually to homes?
We do both.
Oh.
We actually have 2 days of distribution shortly before Christmas.
Okay.
People do need to make an appointment, come in on their appointment. They get to shop for their toys. They get some food at Christmas, or for Christmas also. If you do have a disabled family member and you're not able to come in and get toys, the local police then will bring the toys to your home, which is really a nice thing they do for us.
I bet that's fantastic. So do you know about how many toys you've donated over the years?
Oh, over the years, I'm not even sure since 1986,
A lot.
a lot. Last year, we donated between 3,500 and 4,500 toys.
Wow.
We estimate we helped about 1,500 families in the Anoka County area.
That is fantastic. Now, are you able to meet the need of the area, or are there always more toys that you could use?
We're always in need for toys.
Okay.
Luckily, the last couple of years here, we have been able to meet our need. We've had a couple local businesses really step up with their donations, which has just been amazing. We're always looking for businesses who would like to be a drop-off site for us.
Okay.
And
that's usually in the fall, I would imagine, that you run that?
right after Thanksgiving. We start
Okay.
the day after Thanksgiving, trying to put our boxes out, to anyone who will let us.
And you provide the boxes, they just need to give you the location to set it in?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we send people around to pick the toys up too when it comes to distribution time. So it's not a lot of work if you just let us know if we can put a box at your employment. We do have a few local businesses that actually do bake sales and different things to try and raise money for Toys for Joy. So we really have some awesome local businesses that help us out.
Well, as a Metro North Chamber member, I love hearing that, so that's
Yes.
fantastic. So now, how can the regular public get involved? Can they go to your website and learn more about opportunities?
Absolutely. You go to toysforjoymn.org and they can volunteer on distribution day. They could help us by coming to our fundraisers, spreading the word about us. We do 2 events. We do have the Summer Food Fest, and we're also now in the Anoka Halloween Parade, just trying to gain awareness that we are the group that helps out the Anoka County children with toys at Christmas time.
That's
a lot of people aren't aware that we're the ones handing toys out.
Right. Well, awareness is really key. So what will be your role at the Summer Food Fest?
At Summer Food Fest, it's just bringing a lot of awareness, 1 to Toys for Joy, but 2, Summer Food Fest, free to be. We're going to help sell some tickets. We're going to have some free snow cones and a dunk tank if you'd like to dunk some of our members.
I would love to. I've been in a dunk tank. I'd much rather be on that side throwing the balls, let me tell you that.
Absolutely. So. It's some cold hose water in there.
Yes, so let's not even go there. So no, you guys have really set it up, I think, for a fun event at your booth at the Food Fest. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
So let's get back, though, to the toys. Now, if there's a family watching thinking that they might want to take advantage of your program, how do they go about getting in touch with you?
They can go ahead and go to our website, again, toysforjoymn.org. We do have registration on there. They to be honest, I'm not sure what our registration date is this year. Go on as soon as possible. I believe we run until about Thanksgiving, where you can turn in an application.
Okay.
And then you can set up a date where you come in for distribution to pick up your toys.
Oh, fantastic. So it's just a pretty simple application process.
Yes, it is.
Like. So that's great. Well, I appreciate learning more about Toys for Joy. Is there anything else that you would like to add about your organization?
We're just a phenomenal organization, started by a local group. We're supported by, local families and businesses, and any help anyone can bring to us, we sure do appreciate. We're always looking for drop sites and awareness of who we are and who we're helping.
Right. Fantastic. Well, thank you for being my guest. So what we're going to do next is take another short commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk more about the Summer Food Fest activities and our title sponsor, Nationwide Insurance. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
Last but not least, our final guest here today is Mike Thorsland of Nationwide Insurance. Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
So you wear a couple different hats. You are a board member of the Metro North Chamber of Commerce, and you are this year's title sponsor of the Summer Food Fest.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk more about what that means to be a title sponsor in just a minute. But I want to talk about a little known fact, something that most people are not aware of. The Summer Food Fest was actually your idea a couple years ago. Can you elaborate as to what made you think this would be a good idea for us to pursue?
Yeah, definitely. Me and a friend of mine, Eric Olson, actually were at a similar type event, and he kind of gave me a nudge and said, "Hey, we should do this." And I thought, yeah, it's a good idea. And at the time, Free to Be already had a taste of Blaine going
Right.
on. It has been a very successful event year after year. And I thought, what a great marriage it would be to bring the chamber and Free to Be together to create this event during the summertime, something similar to what they do during the wintertime.
Right.
And that's kind of how we got here.
Right, and I think it's fair to say the Summer Food Fest really is modeled after some of the other taste of fill-in-the-blank cities, except that ours has a different twist in being outside and being more family-friendly.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
so now what has your role been in this event for the past couple of years?
Well, I was on that committee, and I initially reached out to the chamber and get that married, and it's been on the committee and helped put it together every year since then.
Right, it's a pretty big event. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes to pull it off.
Yes, it
So
does.
everything from contacting all the restaurants and the partners and getting those tickets out there and getting
Yep.
the awareness. So
Yep.
it's a huge time endeavor, but
Yep.
well worth it. Now this year your role is a little bit different because you've decided to be the title sponsor. So can you talk about what made you pursue that?
Well, we have had this, a great event over the last couple of years. This is our third year, I believe,
Right.
and it's we had roughly 600-700 people in attendance at each of those years, and I wanted to get it to the next level, and I believe in the organizations that are involved, both Free to Be, the chamber, as well as Toys for Joy, and I really wanted to see if we couldn't raise it to the next level. So that's really why I decided to pony up and do that.
Right, and just to clarify, the title sponsor is you and Nationwide Insurance, and so your business is the one who is really helping to underwrite
Yep.
a lot of this and provide some necessary funds for us to
Yep.
have this event, and as well as to support the other community organizations, Free to Be and Toys for Joy. So thank you on behalf of the
You're
Summer
welcome.
Food Fest and the Metro North Chamber for being the title sponsor this
Yep.
year. So I do want to take just a minute for our viewers to learn a little bit more about Nationwide. So what is your role there and what sets you apart?
Well, I own the local Nationwide agency over here in Blaine, and what sets us apart is I grew up in Blaine. I actually grew up about 4 blocks away from my office, and and my guys that work for me, one lives in Andover, one lives in Lino Lakes, and everyone lives in Anoka, and so our hearts and our passion is for the Anoka County in the area that we serve. And I think that stems into our business. Just recently we were awarded a customer service award. It goes to the top 10% of insurance agencies in the country.
Fantastic.
And that's important to us, but it's also that translates into being important to the community. We want to help. It's part of our passion.
That's fantastic. Now, besides having excellent customer service, what other sorts of services do you offer?
Well, we do your personalized insurance, so we offer auto and homeowners insurance and your RVs and your bikes and four-wheelers and all those fun toys, as well as business insurance as well.
Oh, okay.
And then we also offer life insurance.
Okay. So if someone wanted to learn more about Nationwide and your specific agency, what's the best way for them to reach you?
To give us a call. That'd be the best way. And actually, my number is 763-398-8770. But that's probably the best way to get a hold of us.
Great. And now how will you be involved with the Summer Food Fest this year?
Well, as you know, I'm the title sponsor, as you mentioned, but we'll have a table there as well, handing out information. But beyond that, we'll be selling tickets. We'll be helping, running behind the scenes, making sure that's all, that everything's running smoothly. And I'll do my best to try all the food that's there too, because that's the best part, right?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? We should talk about that for just a minute for those who have not gone before, because there is more food there than you can eat.
True.
So we have a lot of restaurants, and they all try to outdo each other, I think. We tell them to bring small little samples so people can just try their specialties, but I think they like to outdo themselves against the other restaurants,
Yep.
because they've got some pretty large samples on those plates.
Yep.
So some of the restaurants that we have had samples of everything from tacos to wings to desserts, sandwiches.
Yeah, wraps and ice cream and fruit.
So we've
So there is a healthy choice.
Yes, there's healthy options there, so it's all up to you and your willpower, I guess, as to how much you want to have. So, and I think we're really expanding the kids' activities this year as well. We've always had a kids section because, like we mentioned before, it's very family friendly, but this year we've even expanded it. So we have clowns, face painting, bouncy house, a cookie walk, music. There's also a pie eating contest, and we should
Yes.
talk about that. That was very well received by those who not only did the contest but watched.
Right.
So I unfortunately
Yeah.
was signed up by someone, so I ended up doing the contest. Hopefully we'll not show photos of that, but there's lots to keep people busy there.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, and the kids love that too. My son did that last year, and I, you know, we still laugh at the photo of him covered with pie in his face, and it's a fun time for kids too.
Oh, absolutely. They have a blast. And kids are free as long as they come with a paid adult. So it just needs one admission price, and then all you can eat and be entertained with. And not to mention, like you said before, there's 600 to 700 people there. So if you want to network, it's also a great opportunity to get some networking done in a very informal, easy atmosphere.
Yep, it really is, and that's a big part of it actually that kind of goes unspoken is just
Right.
the camaraderie and networking with people that's there. And I wanted to mention too that you know, if people brought a toy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, if people bring a toy to that event for Toys for Joy, they also receive a free drink. So
Yes, a free soda.
a free soda.
Yes.
Yeah, not a cocktail, but
Yes.
but free soda or water, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. And they'll have a nice bin there, like Toby was talking about earlier from Toys for Joy. You can just put that in, they'll give you a raffle ticket, and then you can take that over to the tavern, who is actually doing the cash bar this year. So there are cocktails there from those parents
Yes.
who would like to purchase some, but that would be where you would go to get your free soda.
Yep.
So, no, that's a great point. Thank you for mentioning that. So, can you describe, for someone who hasn't been there before, kind of how this looks at the park, how it's laid out?
It's right in the grassy area. There's a path that goes between there, and the food stands are up and down the path.
So it's
And
very easy to walk up and down.
Very easy. You know, it's something for all ages. I say you could very easily attend. There's tables that we have lined up down the middle of it, so you don't have to sit there and hang onto your plate. You can put your plate down, talk and have some food along the way.
Exactly.
So it's very nicely set up that way. It's a very ideal location for
It
us.
is. There's even a little playground there for kids
Yeah.
if they want to go over to the actual playground at Aquator Park, which for those who don't know is next to Fogarty Arena and the old City Hall in Blaine, right there
Correct.
off of 65 and Highway 10. So,
Yep.
well, thank you, Mike, very much, not only for being my guest today, but again, being the title sponsor for this event. We really do rely on businesses like yours to help us out so that we can continue to hold this wonderful community-focused event. So,
You're welcome.
so thank you very much, and that concludes another episode of Taking Care of Business.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.